Hello. In this video we are looking at a speed and velocity problem within physics, and part of the problem is also going to illustrate what it is that I need to see from you in order to better understand your thinking as you go through the problem, and in case there are any issues that I can help you out in better understanding what to do. So in this problem here we have, if the bus stop is 0.68 kilometers down the street from the museum, and it takes you 9.5 minutes to walk north from the bus stop to the museum entrance, what is your average velocity in meters per second? The first thing I want you to do is I actually want you to draw a picture of what is happening in the problem. The reason I want you to show a picture is because in order to understand if the answer makes sense, we must know what is actually going on in the problem. Also, sometimes the picture will actually help us pick out different numbers that we might not see otherwise. So in this situation, somebody is walking. They're walking north to the bus stop. So draw my stick figure walking to the bus stop. It doesn't have to be really elaborate. Later on, we'll be doing things called free body diagrams, but for now, just kind of sketch what is going on. Next thing we're going to do is write down our givens, what numbers we know. It is not always obvious the numbers that we know. Of course, as they give us the number, we want to write that down. But sometimes it'll say things like something comes to a stop, and that means a number, like 0. Or it says that something starts from rest, and that might also mean 0. Or it might say something like its highest trajectory, which again will tell us certain numbers. Sometimes if it's moving through the air, we'll know the acceleration. Now we want to also write down what letter that number represents. Because it is the unit of kilometers, we know that it represents a distance, which we've been using the letter x. We also see the number 9.5 minutes. The minutes are an indication of a time, so we know that that's the letter t. It asks us, what is your velocity? And so we are looking to find the letter v. Now it does specify that we want the units to be meters per second. What that means is I'm going to have to change these units from kilometers to meters and from minutes to seconds. So off to the side, we'll do some side work here to solve those conversions. We'll start with a 0.68 kilometers. And our conversion factor is that for every 1 kilometer, it is 1,000 meters. So we set it up so the kilometers cancels out. We're left with meters, and we get 680 meters. Then to convert the time, we have 9.5 minutes. We want to convert that to seconds. We know that there's 60 seconds in a minute. We set it up so the minutes cancel out, and we get 570 seconds. So now we go back to our problem, and we write down those converted values. And those are the numbers we are going to use in our problem. So I need to know what it is that you understand in the problem, what is given. I need to see what it is that you need to find, because sometimes that's not always clear. Sometimes there's multiple velocities, and I need to know which of the velocities you need to find. Then we need to look for an equation, and here's why I have you write down the letter that each number represents. We are looking for an equation that has x, t, and v in it. Now there's only one equation that you have on your equation sheet that has both, or all three, v, x, and t, and that is we divide the distance and the time to get the velocity. Then we substitute in our values. There is no number for v, so that's the one thing that's going to stay a variable. Instead of x, we'll put in 680. Instead of t, we'll put in our 570. When we divide those two, we get an answer of 1.19. And just saying that the velocity is 1.19 is not enough, because we need units to determine if that's fast or slow. If it's miles per hour or kilometers per hour, meters per second, that makes a big difference. In this case, we've converted everything to meters and seconds, so our units are 1.19 meters per second. Being a velocity, we also should write down the direction, and it says that we walked north. So we write down that we have walked north from our original location. One last thing to kind of help out, when you have lots of work going on, it's always nice to either box or circle your answer, just so that it's easy to find.